So that is an option that we currently have. The other thing that you can do, this gets into more advanced things, is you can actually watch people's behavior as they walk through your application, and you can actually say things like, if they've been to this same page like 8 times, show them a message. Or if they were first at page A, then at page B, then at page C, show them a message. And so it's a little bit more intrinsic in that they haven't stated that, but you've been able to watch their path through your application, and you can respond to sort of the behavior that's happening in there. Yes?
Can you show us some of that? Because I assume that doesn't require info cards, right? You're talking about a specific website?
Correct. Most of the things we're talking about does not talk about data within information cards. So let me go back to the Kynetx documentation here, and let me scan down and overview some of the things that you can do here.
None of this is relevant to an identifier in the info card.
Well, none of it is yet. Yes, there will be things. So the stuff I've showed you here is not the information card in my examples that I've shown you, and that I'm talking about are a way of delivering the application and providing user experience for the user to install, temporarily disable, and possibly remove the application, and is a method of delivering that. As the information card work progresses and there is more data abilities within information cards themselves, the Kynetx applications will be able to work with that information. But that isn't something that we have that the Information Card Foundation and the information card work has for us.
Ask Paul about that tomorrow, right, Paul?
Yes. Paul will be talking about that, so he'll be talking about what's coming up, which is really good. So let me just do a quick scan, although I'm not getting exactly what you asked about. Let me do a quick scan of the expressions that you can do. You can match city and location information. Here's market predicates, whether the median market is greater than or less than. There's demographic income information. You can serve different rules or different actions to people based on the demographics available, basically with their zip code looked up through GeoIP. This is all ambient context, so nothing nearly as specific as information cards will offer us in the future. So there's median income above, median income below, and things like that. One of the things that we believe about the data access through Kynetx is we believe that by allowing people to build rules against information in an inspecific way, we can respond to private information without actually exposing that private information to the rule developer. So for example, as a platform, we can restrict the range at which you ask my income level, right? And we restrict that to maybe $20,000. You're not allowed to get to more than $20,000, within more than $20,000 specific when you specify a range, which to some degree protects my privacy because you don't know my actual income level. But it still allows you to respond in important ways. And so some of these things sort of show up in the actions that we have. So there's weather predicates we've tried to make easy. Like, for example, is it going to be sunny today? Is it going to be windy tomorrow? And these are the kinds of things that you might do. If you sold umbrellas and swimming suits on your clothing store, you might want to offer them umbrellas if it's going to be raining tomorrow. Yes?
Could you clarify that? I want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, that a developer can write a rule that might be sensitive to the user's income range without the developer or the website on which the rule is running actually getting access to that information. It's just used to personalize the user's experience.
So the question is he wants clarification on whether an application developer and the website on which the application is running can respond to information about the user's income without actually knowing the user's income. Did I say that right?
We're telling the website where.
Yeah, exactly. In other words, this is a privacy question.
Yes.
I'm asking you to confirm, are you saying that you're able to deliver this personalized experience without the user actually divulging that information to the site?
That's correct.
Or to anyone.
Or to anyone.
Or to anyone, even the application developer.
I know, I understand. That's what I'm saying.
But Robin, the one important distinction is it's done through ambient context, which means it's demographic.
It's
not
fairly
known
imprecise.
to the individual. It's known tied back through the zip code through GeoIP lookup.
No, I understand. All I'm saying is that from a privacy perspective, if you're able to deliver this personalization without actually divulging the information, you're delivering the benefit without the privacy problem.
Yes.
Is that not, am I missing something, or is that the basic point?
This is the algorithm happening with that. We have a database of average income out of the U.S. Census based on zip code. So as the GeoIP address finds the zip, it references the table and guesses that you're going to have an average income of $50,000 based on your zip code.
Right, but my point is, if I actually know what my income is, or I have access to a data source that's available, but I know that using this technology is not going to be divulged to the site, I don't care if it knows my exact income to the penny.
Great, use it.
It's
This is
not
just
being
one
divulged.
example
That's the, from a privacy standpoint, that's one of the key benefits we're talking about.
It is. You nailed on precisely why we have this desire to expose or information in these ways. Now, there's some things that we need to do from an application perspective to prevent knocking out specific information by asking a ton of little questions to drill down. But that's something that we can do at a platform level to respect privacy while still allowing application developers and websites to respond to very private information.
Absolutely.
It's a very, very important thing. Yes, Craig.
So doesn't Axiom already know all this, and how are they going to connect to this, Tim?
Wow, no pressure, Craig. That's a very good
I'm going to turn the mic on for Tim.
Say again.
Say again.
So doesn't Axiom know all this information about demographics, even down to much closer than what the geo data would be?
Yes, absolutely.
So what's going to happen?
Well, you're stealing my thunder from tomorrow. I'd like to start my presentation right now.
Good answer.
Yes, I'd like to start my presentation right now.
So tomorrow we'll find out. There we go. That's close
Stay
enough.
tuned. But no, you nailed it, Drummond, and that's one of the magical things that we think that with Kynetx, that you can have that yes, no, that false positive, the verification of that data without divulging that. So as a champion of privacy, that actually occurs. So up until now, it's like, well, I've had to do that. Forget the world that we're talking about now. In the traditional way, the way you get around that is through a zip level or a street level to say, well, I can go down to a street level, but I can't go down to a household and say it's Drummond Reed. So very much the same way, but now you see the technology taking over that role to keep that private information where it belongs, so it's not stored and actually to your own experience. It's like, I don't care if it goes down to the penny, if it's not stored somewhere.
Yeah, that's the
Or
key.
divulged.
Right, which of course, I mean, that's part of the point of information cards, is put the user in control of the sharing of the data. Well, in this case, you're talking about client-side leveraging of that data. And I just wanted to make sure it was clear, because you're talking about those things, and I was going, is this being shared in any way? If it's not being shared in any way, from a privacy standpoint, that's just enormous.
So
Yes, we think so too.
I'm anticipating a rather interactive discussion tomorrow, so I'll leave it at that. But the need for, because up till now it's very obvious on a marketing side or demographic side, but the need to have identity authorities out there for secure things that we're going to be doing with this, that's what I'm going to talk about tomorrow.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah,
also,
in essence, Drummond, I mean, just to be perfectly clear, KRL is effectively providing a Chinese wall of sorts for the user on their browser, and rules can respond to the data, but Kynetx never sees the data. The data only lives on the browser. And so
Right.
our rules can respond to whatever data is made available. Yeah, Justin?
Where does the measurement happen? I mean, I'm
The
thinking it's from the
evaluation?
marketer side. How is the marketer able to measure this if we're all of a sudden moving everything to the client? There's no way to measure this from a business perspective on how successful you're
Yeah,
getting.
so
Wait, it's your session.
Steve, can I talk?
enter Sam!
So,
Who's giving this presentation?
thank you though, Steve, I appreciate it. So Phil is actually going to talk about data a little later, but through things like analytics, we can log imprecise markers that allow people to still measure things while still respecting the privacy. So the answer is that the same thing done on the client side to deliver a personalized experience can be done on the analytics side to deliver accurate but privacy-respecting metrics.
So the users can control that if they want.
Yes. Now, so to narrow it slightly back down to,
Repeat his question.
okay, so the user can control that. The answer is yes, although the specifics of what you're saying, that's what we're still working out.
Okay.
So if the rules are running on the Kynetx server, how much data is the Kynetx server getting, and does the person sitting in front of the computer have to have a trust relationship with Kynetx in order for this to be seen as privacy respecting?
It depends.
Repeat the question.
So the question is that what kind of trust relationship does the user of the application need to have with Kynetx in order to facilitate this sort of
And
privacy?
specifically, where are the rules running and how much data has to go